Okay, so at this point we've used joints to assemble each of our individual parts. Everything's looking good there. We've got the pulley wheel rotating like so, with everything else being rigid. There's just one more thing to add then, which is the fasteners, which go in the holes here. And I'd like to show you one of the built-in features within Fusion, which is to insert fasteners. Go back on the home view. But I come up to the tabs at the top. I'm going to go into Insert. I'm going to select Insert Fastener. You can hit the drop down, second one down there. Let's go Insert Fastener. And from here, our toolbox pops up. We can do a search for fasteners from there. You can also select some viewing options, so whether listed or tiles. For me personally, I prefer tiles, so leave it as that. We can then filter as well, so we can filter by a standard. We can also filter by the unit system, so imperial, inches, metric, mil. For me, I work in metrics, so I'm going to leave it as metric. And under here, yep, we're looking for fasteners. And in this particular case, we're looking for, let's start off with some bolts. And we've got various options here, so the countersunk, flanged hex. Let's go for, instead of going for a flanged hex, I'm just going to go for a hex. And then I want to insert washers as well and show you that option. So I'm under the hex head fasteners, got options for self-tapping, sheet metal shoulder, and we've got various options for hex head bolts here. We're going to go with the very first one, just as an example. And then we have quite a lot of parameters that we can adjust. Now what's great about Fusion, and what I really like about this feature, is that where we move the mouse point, Fusion will do its best to pre-calculate what the size of the fastener will be. For example, if I bring my mouse over, let's say this hole here, okay, so that orientation is not what we're looking for, but if we move the mouse slightly, it will then recognize what will be the correct orientation. And it will also put in fasteners like we see on the other side as well, which Fusion will see as being similar. And we don't have to do that if we don't want. So under select similar, we can take that off. And if we come back, it will just do the one here. But in this particular case, I do want to have the same fastener in this hole as well. But if we don't adjust this down like so, I'm going to left click once, and then we can adjust the parameters here. But Fusion's recognized the hole size, and as assigned as N8. Okay, you can adjust this if that's not accurate. But in this case, M8 is good for us. Into the nominal length, so Fusion now is input 30. Let's go on the front view. Yeah, 30 is okay. It's a bit long. We can get a nut on there with these. Let's go for 25 mil. Happy with that. And the material, we can assign a material here, stainless, aluminium. Then we go for steel, another finish. Let's go for a black finish. And then once we're done with that, let's click OK. Then you'll see that Fusion has input the two fasteners there as per the parameter boxes, and they've applied a visual thread as well, so not a physical. And we need to repeat that process for the other side just here. Let's insert fastener. Again, let's go bolts and screws. Let's go hex head. Then I pick the first one again as an example. Over the mouse over, quick once. And then I'm going to adjust that to 25. And for the finish, I'll put that as black as well. And press OK. And there we have 4 hex head bolts put in place. That's nice. Let's also add some washers there as an example as well. Let's go back on Insert Fastener. Under here, let's choose the washers folder. If we want a plain, a spring washer, or a square, this is an M8 bolt. Spring washer under that torque would do very little. So let's go for a plain washer. I'm just going to choose the first one as an example again. And it's the same process. So I've got select similar selected. I'm going to hover the mouse over. And then when I click once, and then hit the green tick here or press OK, Fusion will adjust that bolt so that it then sits onto the fastener, which is a really nice feature. And perhaps at this point, actually, we might want to revert that length to 30 mil as we haven't got much length on there for a nut, which we'll do in a second. Okay, and Fusion's applied washers to all 4 of those. That's fantastic. If we want to change any of the parameters about these fasteners, let's say, for example, we want to change the washers to black, come down to our timeline and just simply right click on the feature, edit fastener, go on the finish, let's put that as black, press OK. We've adjusted that, that's nice. And let's also add on another 5 mil, so let's go for that 30 mil on the fasteners. Okay, so I'll come down to that feature there, edit fastener, put in 30 mil, and that's going to do these 2 over here, press OK. And repeat the process for this feature as well, which is these 2 bolts here. So 30 mil, okay. And there we go. That's how we make use of this brilliant feature built into Fusion. In my experience, a lot of the calculations that Fusion does in order to auto-adjust the size and length of fasteners is actually really good and quite accurate. But at times we do need to implement some manual adjustment to get exactly what we're looking for. Okay, any questions about that, please send me a message. And I would recommend having a play around with the Insert Fastener toolbox. Plenty to choose from, lots of different variations according standards, etc. And overall, yeah, really useful and efficient tool. Saves us a lot of time when it comes to generating and assigning fasteners as well. So I'll see you in the next lecture.